I was here in February. I walked into the foyer. I was a guest of Gary Kahn, who invited me to come over. I wanted to see the setup of folks. And I walked in, and it was very busy. There were a lot of people. And so this man came up to me, a very friendly man, and he said, who are you here for? I said, I'm a guest of Gary Kahn. He said, where are you from? I said, do I have to sign up at the table? He said, no, you don't have to do that. Where are you from? And I said, well, is Gary coming over? He says, yeah, I'll get Gary. Where are you from? And I was thinking about, where am I from? You know, near-death experience really alters your personality, your perspective. And I often think of where I'm from. A little bio before I get into the talk. I was born in 1937 to Jewish parents in Detroit. My father was from an Orthodox family. My mother was from a Reformed family. But they divorced when I was an infant. So I was sent to 4 Christian boarding schools at the age of 12. My mother had to work. She couldn't take care of me. And she had gone to Catholic school for the study of music. She was very gifted as a piano player. And she believed in the structure. So that's where I wound up. I can't remember a lot from those early years. I did have a foster home where I was there from 3 to 5, and I really experienced love and inclusion, affection, and stability when I was in that foster home. It was a major, major experience in my life. But in 1957, I was aboard the aircraft carrier Forrestal. And my job was a plane captain. A plane captain is part of the ground crew. I assisted the pilot with his parachute, his ejection seat. I had to arm it. I had to arm his missiles. And the most important thing, go ahead. The most important thing about that job, in terms of the final thing that I did for the pilot, was help him pre-flight the aircraft. And it was during that time of checking out the various parts of the plane while it was running, and it was during that time that I was killed. I was literally killed. I'm going to show you a video. And this takes place on the flight deck of the Forrestal. The Forrestal, at the time, was the largest ship in the world. It was 3 football fields long. From keel to mast was 25 stories. It had approximately 400 to 4,500 men. It was really my 5th boarding school. And my job was exhausting. I had worked anywhere from 12 to 15 hours a day. And I wasn't the only one. We were young and we had the stamina, but there were lots of opportunity for injury and accidents. And you'll see that. So I'm going to show you this video. And there'll be some slides at the end of the video. And you'll see some pictures of me before I was injured. So let's turn out the lights. Do we need to turn them out? No.
aircraft carrier. In this case, a supercarrier on one of the world's 7 seas, on deployment with more than 5,000 officers and men for more than half a year. A self-sufficient, fast-moving, floating airbase, remarkable for that. And because, as one commander put it, it's like steering Manhattan Island around from the top of the Empire State Building. What is more remarkable is the skill that goes into making it do what it does, despite being as small as it is. A veteran pilot described the flight deck as O'Hare and Washington National Airports at peak hours, squeezed into a few basketball courts. A tight and dangerous environment in which inches or inattention can mean catastrophe.
Well, once you become a qualified plane captain, you get your name on the aircraft. This is my jet. I'm responsible for it. I've got to make sure that it's set up, ready for flight. So all the pilot's got to do is jump in there. Get ready to go. Ducks are good. Yes, sir. You have a good flight, sir.
Non-command personnel ship consider proper flight deck uniform. Helmets on, goggles down, sleeves rolled down, life vest on, securely fastened. Check chalk, time, change the script out the deck, and check for 5. And let's start to go aircraft. Start them up.
The best way for the pilot and I to communicate is through hand signals. Each hand signal has a different meaning. First of all, the pilot tells me to start up the APU. The APU goes off. Good, starts up engine number 2. Boom, start up engine number 2. After that, start up engine number 1. Start up engine number 1. All right, both engines are going. Check the hydraulic system. Tell them they're good to go. This is the final check to verify that everything's good. There's no hydraulic leaks, no missing fasteners, anything like that. I go underneath the jet, get the code, see if there's anything wrong. If there is, the computer will tell me. After that, I tell them to put 3 up. The tail hook, launch bar, speed brake, and IFR probe all go back inside. The final checkers will do their walk around, and they'll tell me, thumbs up, the jet's good to go. After that, I pass control to a yellow shirt, who will tell the pilot that they're going to break the chains down and pull the tops out. That's when we take all the chains down and remove the tops. Bird's on its way.
Just like that. He killed in a matter of seconds. You know, this got to be one of the dangerous jobs in the world to do. Because you working around aircraft, working around live ammunition, we have fuel spills on the deck. Anything can spark a fire just like that. You gotta come up here with your head on a swivel, you know.
Well, I do worry about it. It's dark up here. It's dark, it's dangerous. People get blown overboard. One of the shipmates got blown overboard, what, 4 or 5 days ago? Sure, it's dangerous. But, gotta do what you gotta do, I suppose.
When I was on my first cruise, I was just a new person. I saw a guy get decapitated by one of the S3s. He was a final checker, my job. He was putting the power cable away, came out, a safety grabbed him, told him to not go in front of the intake. Well, he went in front and he was decapitated right there. But carrying on with the job of the Navy, we shut down, cleaned up the mess, and launched our jet. We had a job to do. I've seen a person get killed that quick. It scares you.
Most dangerous elements out there in a flight deck that we need to be concerned about are some of the items that we may not be able to see or perceive, which would be the jet exhaust. In addition to the jet exhaust, we also have to be aware of propellers, which are very difficult to see, especially at night. We have to be aware of jet intakes, which have the capability to ingest you.
there under the one.